Hey, welcome back. It's another edition of the RSL Show. Alex Napoles, Josh Clark, Carson Lantz, all coming at you to bring you the latest and the greatest with Real Salt Lake. And it is a little bit greatest, Josh. This team is playing a lot better, and it's fun when there's results to be had. Josh, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. The form has picked up a little bit, like you were alluding to there. Tough game against Cincinnati. I'm still not entirely sold on this team. However, my gripe is the same. Not Diogo. We'll talk about that later. But if this team can't score goals, man, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble. But, otherwise, defensively, we're starting to look better. So if we can figure these goals out, man, this team could have some sauce again.
Carson, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's going good. Got a fresh shave today. The beard was getting a little long. What beard? But I'm doing good. As like kind of Josh said, we need goals. We can only do so much on defense, but if we don't do this goal scoring up top, then we're not going to get results against top teams like Cincinnati. So,
well, let's dive right into it. The thing that people are here for this time of year, the most important thing, who cares about the results? Give me the transfers. Who's coming in, Josh? And we've already had plenty of rumors, plenty of rumblings, mostly involving striker. We've talked about how important it is for Real Salt Lake to bring in a striker. That is probably the top of their priority list this summer window. And we've already had a couple names. We talked about Brian Leon, I think, last time we recorded. It was said to be done. It was said to be official. And somehow the Colombian striker fell through. And he's no longer coming to Real Salt Lake.
I hate to say it, but that's all right. Because why, Alex?
Because there's more rumors and there's more rumblings, including reports coming out of Brazil, where Ruan Cruz, a player with Botafogo who's fallen out of favor at Botafogo, didn't have any appearances at the Club World Cup, only had 4 appearances last season in their shortened tournament. And so Ruan Cruz is reported to be on his way to Real Salt Lake. It is almost basically a done deal for the Brazilian striker, and so he'll be joining Real Salt Lake on loan from Botafogo.
See, that's the pedigree of player I like. Right? Top team, Brazilian, has done something in his career, right? Less of a project than a Brian Leon to me. Right now, this team needs guys to come in and make an immediate impact. And of course, he could come in and do nothing. But there's more hope that a guy like this will come in and make an instant impact and really help this club.
Correction, it's actually 5 appearances, and that's just in league. There are more appearances to talk about in Libertadores, which is the big continental tournament that they have in the CONMEBOL. Also has a goal in the Libertadores, in Libertadores play, and so just seems like a guy who came into Botafogo still on the younger side, 24 years of age, spent some time at Ludogorets in Bulgaria. 33 goals and 33 appearances and 19 goals in Bulgaria for Ruan Cruz. Has some European experience, has Brazilian experience, now again reported to be heading to Real Salt Lake on loan. And so this is a guy that I think can come in and make an immediate impact. And that is the hope.
yeah, it looks like we're building a somewhat of a relationship over there in Brazil with Botafogo. Where we got Savarino went there, and then we sold Elias Manuel there, and also reports are saying that Andres Gomez is reportedly going to go on loan there as well. So it's like, and then we're buying from them now too, or loaning, but it's like that's a nice relationship to have over in South America, because Botafogo is one of the top teams out of Brazil right now.
And they are one of the better looking teams of the Club World Cup, if we're being honest.
Yes. He's not the only one, though. Ruan Cruz isn't the only guy to be reported to be coming over. So still waiting for the official Bogart bomb on Ruan Cruz, but we did have a Bogart bomb involving Real Salt Lake earlier this week, Josh and Carson. a striker coming over from Champions League level soccer. It's reported that it's nearly done that Victor Olatunji, I'm assuming that's how you say it. We'll call him Victor for now. Victor from Sparta Prague will be heading over to Real Salt Lake, a fee of about $2.5 million, and likely to be done without needing to fill the DP spot. A couple things to break down here on that one. First, the DP spot. You bring in a 9 that is really, really needed for Real Salt Lake, right? We'll get into Willie Agata. But you bring in a DP9 at 2.5, or excuse me, you bring in a 9 at 2.5 million, and you don't have to use the DP spot.
What are we, Inter Miami?
There's still room on the roster with that DP spot where you can continue to make moves.
I mean, would we though?
Probably not.
But if you're getting a DP caliber player and not a DP roster spot, take it. I'm not going to complain about that any day, right? This rumor excites me the most of the three. Just, guy scored in Champions League recently. So
this past year,
if he can do some goals for us, I'm pumped.
I mean, yeah, Champions League experience. Czech Republic is not a bad league whatsoever as well. I want to put that out
good
there.
Development league.
They have I think they consistently usually have 3-4 teams contending to get into the Champions League every year, and so that's a great pickup in my book. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too expensive as well, and not giving up a DP spot is awesome. So I'm kind of the same thing in what Josh said as well, but hopefully that Champions League Czech Republic experience can translate to the MLS and he can come in just blazing goals.
We're really into a striker carousel right now, aren't we?
And it's needed.
It is needed, but
it is needed.
Good Lord, since Chicho left,
panic buttons.
This will be what, 5, 6?
Manuel, Ajago, Piol, Agata. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5 would be.
You could put Barrera in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Victor Olatunji would be 5 or 6. Yep.
That's crazy to think about.
44 appearances last season for Olatunji. 33 in league play, 7 goals, 8 Champions League appearances in the group play, and 2 goals scored in Champions League play. In total, 44 appearances, 12 goals, and 2 assists on the season. Again, I think you're getting a really good value not having to use a DP spot for a guy with Champions League experience.
And again, we just hope he comes in and blows us all away, right?
Absolutely.
The new Chicho. That's the hope.
Look, man, there was another striker by the name Victor from Nigeria available.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford that one.
Yeah, I wish.
Talking about Oshiman?
Yeah. Hey, man, he went to Turkey, though. So, United States, Turkey,
I've heard Turkey doesn't. They promise money, but they don't pay the money.
I think that's one of the reasons why Rossi came back to MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But okay, so that leaves us here. If 2 strikers do indeed come in, where does that leave Ari Piol and Willie Agata?
You gotta loan out Ari.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so too.
Loan him out, whether that be at the USL level or maybe even back to the A League, man. I don't know. But you gotta get him a loan out somewhere because you can't just have. He's a kid. I think we've talked about it before many times. Thrown into a really bad situation, but I think there's potential there. His hold-up play is really, really good. We saw it against Portland, and we'll dive into that here momentarily. But he has a ceiling. that I hope he can achieve. He's shown glimpses and potential that he has potential to be a good striker in Major League Soccer. You bring in 2 strikers, he falls down on the depth chart. I don't want him to just sit and kind of rot on the depth chart.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
You get him a loan out, make sure he's playing good time somewhere.
You know, I'm going to kind of... You say his hold-up play is good. I kind of disagree with that. I think he needs to hold up the ball more, but he's always looking to turn and sprint, like turn and go.
That comes with experience.
Yeah. And so that's where Agata kind of gets him, is Agata's good at holding up the ball. Ajago is good at holding up the ball. Piol's not really, like, there yet, you know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of makes me think of him and be like, like he plays more like a winger rather than a striker.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's mid in a lot of ways, including hold-up play, his run timing, shot selection. But I agree with Alex that that's very much on the inexperienced side.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think I would like to see him get a loan out somewhere, especially for us, like bring in 2 strikers to add to this roster. A loan away where he continues to get minutes, I think, would be very good for him. But Willie Agata, I think that's one that you can move on from.
Willie, you gotta go, bro.
Quite possibly one of the roughest first touches I've ever seen.
I'm trying to think of who it reminds me of.
I'm trying to be nice.
Lukaku.
He's got to improve. Anytime that he's inside the box and there's a ball that's played to him, it's more often than not, he's losing the ball before he has an opportunity to get a shot off.
Yeah, he's just not the answer, man. I know he's had a couple goals, but it's not enough, right? This team needs more out of that position, so
I think
let's move on.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was the 3rd choice striker at Sporting Kansas City, and I think we're quickly going to see him fall to 3rd choice here with Real Salt Lake now with the additions that are reportedly coming in.
Let's just hope they get the deals over the line ASAP, get him in here, you know, get him rolling as soon as possible so we're not waiting until September.
Well, Pipe Sierra, who is one of the most credible and most reliable news journalists, the Tom Bogert, the Fabrizio Romano of Colombian soccer, said Brian Leon was done. It was over the line, ready to roll. And then all of a sudden it's not, and it falls through. And so while all these ones we are being told that they are done and ready to roll, we'll believe it when the club announces it, because we saw it with Brian Leon that sometimes things happen.
Yep.
We saw it with Robert Bosnick.
Yep.
We saw it with Robert Bosnick. Things happen and things fall through.
Yep. Until it's on the Twitter page of Real Salt. I mean, even then, right? Elias Manuel. So until we see them show up and wear a jersey, it's.
I guess so. I guess that's where we're at. 5 straight for Real Salt Lake, unbeaten. This team, man, has vastly improved from where it was in April and in May to where it is today, Josh and Carson. Much better performances, much better results. You go 5 straight. You beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You beat a team and you probably shouldn't have beat in, like Portland. Late winner there from Diogo. Just give us kind of your overall encompassing thoughts and takes on the last 5 matches, not including Cincinnati. We'll get there. But just the performances from Real Salt Lake in that unbeaten run.
I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier, but defensively, much more stout, right? That's huge because we were very leaky while not scoring goals for quite a while. So the defense picking up a little bit of form is incredible. Love to see that. And then, Diogo, somewhat performing now, right? I'm not going to give him all the credit in the world, right? He still has a lot to prove, in my opinion. But he's working his way there, right? He's scoring some goals. He's looking a little more lively, a little more active. I think those are two big takeaways, really, for me in the last 5 games.
Yeah, I think you can definitely look at a player like Diogo Gonçalves, and what stands out to me is those last 6-5 games, assist versus DC United, and he had a goal versus St. Louis and a goal versus Portland, and that Portland one happened to probably be that most important goal he scored because we got an away point. We got 3 points from an away game, and as much as we have crapped on him all year, something's turned on in his head, and he's stat wise he's producing, but still, then you look at that game like Cincinnati, and you're like, where was Diogo? You know what I'm saying? Like, the best team in the league, we're at home. Where was
It's your time to shine.
Yeah. That's the type of game where you win fans over. That's a game where you win fans over.
And he had moments. He had moments, but nothing, to sway the result of the match there.
And I'll give him the benefit of doubt, though. He wasn't the only winger that wasn't producing in the final third. I could say, obviously, Xavier Goes was young, but he was not there that much either. So
no one looked threatening.
Yeah. Same, yeah. Piol, Luna looked off as well. So
Johnny Russell looked off, right? Like, everyone looked kind of different.
I feel like Johnny Russell brought a little bit of a spark, though. You know what I'm saying?
Not defensively.
Not defensively.
not to.
That's what I was alluding to. That's what I was alluding to.
We'll get there. I think for me, a lot of the big difference in the last couple of games has been the playmaking creativity of Pablo Ruiz. I still don't think that we've given him enough credit for coming back and returning and stepping up while Ojeda's been out suspended with a yellow card accumulation, and with Noel Caliscan showing up and putting in some shifts, man. I think Noel Caliscan has been incredible for what he is, for what he's being asked to do. Look, it's never an easy task going up against top competition like an MLS MVP candidate like Evander. But oh my gosh, the work and the job that he did on Evander this past Saturday, I gotta bow down and give him a nice little round of applause, man, because Caliscan did a phenomenal job shutting Evander out of that game.
I can't disagree. And Pablo Ruiz has been incredible as well.
Yeah.
Besides versus Cincinnati, Pablo Ruiz wasn't good, but
he was okay. I mean, really, the only thing we were good at against Cincinnati was keeping our defensive shape and not conceding 6 goals, right? Which, against one of the league's best teams, it was a decent showing. So I can't be too upset about it.
No, but for real though, yeah, Pablo Ruiz has been absolutely, it's been a blessing to have him back and being healthy and playing. A player gets hurt for 2 years and you forget what they've done for our club, and he's showing what we've been missing. He is just so good at playing that killer ball to set up a counterattack, and then I don't know. That's really all I can think about. Is I can think about something else too. Him and Ojeda were locking down Evander in that midfield. Pablo Ruiz seemed to have Evander's number every time. I could just think about him picking the ball.
I'm telling you, man, the defensive effort that Real Slick showed on a guy like Evander. I mean, this is a guy who just had a brace against Inter Miami, right? This is a team that just beat Inter Miami 3-0.
And you have a guy that came from Timbers too, and a guy that's been out for 2 years locking him down.
Exactly. I think massive credit to Pablo and the guys for the defensive showing that they showed against Cincinnati. Because even when they made the substitutions and their A team, quote unquote, and their stars came on, they still did a phenomenal job, except the one, Josh.
Except the one.
Except the one. I know Pablo Mastroeni in the postgame press conference came out and said, "Look, it's a world-class goal, and that was the difference tonight." But I think that things could have been done to prevent a world-class goal from being struck.
Take the card.
Take the card, man.
If you think you're going in a little too hard, take the card.
Yeah.
And when those starting lineups came out and I looked at that bench for Cincinnati, I was like, there's not going to be much we can do once those guys come in. They had Yedlin come in, Luca how do you say his name, Alex?
Oriano, yep.
Oriano, old head Kai Kamara, and then Matt Miazga.
40-year-old Kai Kamara, bro.
Which is funny. Noel Kaliskan actually got under his skin for a second, and that was fun to watch because the Kaliskan pushed him to the ground when the ref wasn't looking, and Kai Kamara got up in his face, and Kaliskan's like, "What? Like I didn't do anything. Like what are you yelling at about?" So that's just a funny moment right there I remember from that game.
I think if you look at the replay of that goal, it starts with Cincinnati's midfielder dribbling past Johnny Russell, and Russell just kind of letting him run through. Wait, no, is that Kai? It's Kai.
He completely pulled out of the challenge.
He did.
Yeah.
He pulls out of the challenge, lets Kai Kamara just run past him. Kamara turns back, sees Orellano. At this point, Real Salt Lake's out of position. The pivots are out of position because there's a gaping hole in the midfield because Johnny Russell also kind of didn't drop back defensively. So you have the pivots kind of watching Orellano just at the top of the 18, and Orellano hits a beautiful ball, puts it into the back of the net, and that's the difference against Cincinnati.
One chance, man.
But you take that away, and you have a brilliant display of defending in the remaining 90 minutes for Real Salt Lake.
Yes, sir. Can't be mad. I know it's a loss, but you can't be mad.
And that's the thing that I'm struggling with the most is it's glass half empty, glass half full for me because yes, you have a phenomenal performance defensively. You hold Cincinnati to just the one goal. It's really a very positive performance for me against one of MLS's best. But it also felt like the chances were there for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, had we pulled that out, right? Team's going to feel like they're walking on the moon.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to give you the oomph and the gusto you need to go forward and really do some more work. And it sucks. But again, at least we didn't get blown out. I was a little worried about that. But
I was too. I'm not going to lie. I thought this game was going to be very much a come back down to earth moment for Real Salt Lake. And quite frankly for us. Because, 5-game unbeaten streak, and I think that Real Salt Lake has been playing really well through that unbeaten streak, and then I thought that this was going to be kind of like, here's your piece of humble pie, and it was going to be a high-scoring game, but in all reality, like I said, Real Salt Lake went toe-to-toe with one of the best and played well.
And there were some moments of some very beautiful soccer from Real Salt Lake, too.
Oh, yeah.
Some very pretty soccer. So the guys have it in them. They just got to put the ball in the net. Very simple, very basic. You must score to win.
Gozo had a couple of really nice ones. Luna had a couple of really nice ones. Diogo had a couple of close ones. And that whole second half, man, I think is again a testament to just how much and how far this team has gone in the last few months, because April and May, it was hard to talk about this team.
They were dreadful.
They were not good.
To be straight up about it.
They were not good. And I don't know what it was, man. There was guys. I don't know if guys weren't bought in. I don't know if I don't know what the deal was, but the turnaround has been fun to watch, and that entire second half against Cincinnati, it really felt like Real Salt Lake was the better of the two sides.
Agreed.
I honestly, thinking about the last couple of games, all I can think about is defensively and how good we've been. And I'm going to give Kalaskan and Katranas and Junkwa a lot of credit, because I feel like it was always we were struggling either outside back. Like it was like, oh, we're struggling with a left back. Oh, we're struggling with the right back. But I feel like right now we haven't seen in a while where we have two in-form outside backs. And then if you could throw in Junkwa, I feel like Junkwa has won me over in a way a little as well. At first I was kind of like, who's this guy? But
Yeah.
to see him come in and be able to step in whenever we need a center back and step in whenever we need an outside back, and he basically plays the exact same way Katranas does when he's playing outside back, and then perfectly plays center back as well. And so I'll give those three guys, a lot of credit for how we've been playing the last 5-6 games.
Yeah, Junkwood does a job, man.
Yeah.
Right? It's not always the flashiest, not always the prettiest, but he's very stable and reliable. And you can never really be upset at that.
I mean, I remember going back to the beginning of the season, we had conversations about how, I guess, I don't want to say displeased, because in reality I wasn't, but I wasn't a big fan of Junka. Like I knew
It didn't move the needle.
It didn't move the needle. I knew him from his time in Houston and in Dallas, and from his time around Major League Soccer, and I was like, this is a very average defender, but he's honestly come in, and I got to give him all the props, man. Let me eat crow, Junka, because he's been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Kalaskan, while it might be crappy to say, I still think that we can potentially find a right back to come in and really fill in for Javane Brown. But Kalaskan has earned his flowers as well.
Kalaskan's giving off Emeka Nelly vibes, playing that outside spot.
Yeah, man.
And then filling in the midfield whenever he needs to.
Yeah, man.
Any player like that, you can never go wrong with. Versatile.
Kind of crazy because, I mean, we've only seen Kalaskan play in one game in the midfield since he's made that move to right back due to the Ojeda suspension. But I've certainly liked him a lot better at the right back spot.
Same. I'm more comfortable with him at the right back spot.
I feel like in the midfields, he has the tendency to get a little bit lost.
Yeah.
Doesn't really impact the game the way that he does at the right back position. At the right back position, he's shutting down passing lanes, he's stopping wingers, and he's putting in shifts like stopping Evander. But the games that we've seen him in the midfield, he's just kind of floating there. I don't really see him stand out the way that Ojeda and Anelli does.
Yeah, you don't get the dominant midfield feeling.
Yeah, there you go. Diogo, he's coming around, man.
Yeah, we already talked about him enough. 2 goals and an assist. Still, numbers are still too low for me to completely tell myself to eat crow.
I haven't necessarily hated what he's put out on the field the last couple through this run though.
No, he definitely looks like he's trying now, which is appreciated. Which was my biggest gripe, as we all know.
He's getting a lot more involved in the press. He's getting a lot more involved in pushing the ball forward. And
yeah.
he's linking up well with Gozo.
He is, and I hope it continues because I want to like Diogo.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, I want him to be an impactful player on this team, and I want the fans to appreciate him. I'm glad he's starting to come around, but it's going to take more than 2 goals for me to be like, oh, I guess I was wrong. Right, still your DP. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand. Yeah,
I think it's valid to feel that way, especially when you're playing your designated player. We're Real Salt Lake, we're one of those smaller market teams, and when we see a guy getting paid $1.7 million a year, we expect Chicho numbers, where you're scoring 17 goals a year or, maybe double digits assists. But we just haven't seen that with Diogo yet. And if he can keep up the form he's had from the past 5 games for the rest of the year, I'll be satisfied. But can you do that again next year? Can you double that next year?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Carson. And I think the performances have been better, and he's trending in the right direction. I do need to see more goal contributions, whether that be goals, whether that be assists. Massive credit to him for the game winner against Portland. Don't want to take that away from him, but when you're the DP, when you're a designated player in this league, you've got to output more in goal contributions, and I think that's where we're at with Diogo. Just got to see more goals, got to see more assists.
Yeah, the pressure's there, right? That's the position you're in. You're in the position of pressure. The weight of the team really is on your shoulders. So keep it up. Keep improving. We like it, but don't get comfortable now that you've scored 2 goals. That's not enough.
Still curious to see who moves on this window.
Someone has to.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately.
If you look at the last 18 for Real Salt Lake, in that last match, no Lachlan Brook on the bench. Left out, and I still think that he's the glaring one for me that needs to move on.
There's no reason to not move him on. You gotta. You could see Markchuk.
I was about to say there's a dominant question that needs to be answered now this window too.
And Piol can probably go out on loan now. There's a lot of guys, man. A lot of guys that need some minutes that just are not getting them. That if we have to free up space, they're first on the list.
Dominic, for me, same kind of conversation we're having with Diogo is I've liked what I've seen from him, but he's taken up a U22 spot on the roster and an international spot. And we've talked about how important those roster designations and those roster spots are super important in Major League Soccer. And you can't have a U22 just riding the bench. Similarly to what we saw with Nelson.
It's very correct. And if he's not beating out a homegrown teenager, right? Let's probably move on.
Which is
get him somewhere he's going to get minutes, right?
Which is also crazy to think about, that an 18-year-old homegrown is beating out a Polish international. This guy's a constant name on the Polish call-ups for the national team.
I have a feeling Gozo is going to be in the same position with the men's national team here in a few years. So
I would agree.
I think it all comes down to mentality. So what? Markchuk gets called up to the Polish national team, plays with the under-20 Polish national team. But I get this question a lot from fans in Poland who are looking at Markchuk and they're like, "Hey, we know Markchuk's this good player, and we've all seen his potential and how good he can be. Like, he gets called up, but on paper, he looks really bad in the MLS." And it's like, when I look at it, he's a 21-year-old, lives in America. He's from Poland. But what it comes down for me is it's mentality. Like, what are you focused on? Off the field, what are you focused on the field? Because, at a 21-year-old, you might have a lot of distractions off the field because we've seen that with some players. I'm not going to name any players, but I feel like I have a feeling that something with Markchuk might be going on, and I hope he can figure it out. Because I like Markchuk. I'm a big Markchuk guy, and we've seen glimpses of what he can be, but we just need to find something deep down in him that he can pull out and start being that player we all know he can be,
Yes, sir. He's got to find his man to the field first.
I would have to agree because, again, looking at it from a roster building perspective, those are 2 spots that you just can't have sitting on your bench.
It just makes me think of Andres Gomez, like his first season with RSL. But, I mean, Markchuk's kind of almost had his full season with RSL.
Right.
He hasn't had his full, he came in last summer, and so he's almost been here for a full year. So it's like, he hasn't really. Obviously, this whole MLS season's going to be a year, but it's like it kind of seems like he's still kind of settling in a little bit.
Yeah, this is the point where he is at with his time at Real Salt Lake is the time that we started seeing Andres Gomez pick up steam,
Yes.
right, and become the player he was becoming. He's not even getting on the field. That's the concern.
Not even sub, man.
Right. Like
And
Johnny Russell and Gozo are completely
Right.
beating you out.
And on a short week when, you probably anticipate to see some rotations from Pablo, there's no rotations. He kind of rolls out the same group, kind of rolls out the same lineup, minus a couple of changes, but even in a short week, Dominic isn't seeing the field.
Yeah, it's not a good look, man.
It sucks.
He's a guy I'll be looking at this summer window.
Same.
And kind of seeing how RSL navigates the next couple of weeks with a bunch of matches coming up too in a short period of time with Leagues Cup. Leagues Cup is finally here, but before we get to that, Josh, you want to talk about your Portland trip, man? How'd it go?
It was good, man. It was freaking hot. It was so hot in Portland.
That was a stadium, man.
You ever been up there?
No.
It's a fun little stadium. There's a pole in the way, though. When you're up in the away section, there's a pole just right in front of the goal. It drives me nuts. It's an old baseball stadium with the terrace and stuff, but otherwise, I really like going to Portland for games. I think it's a fun stadium. It's a fun crowd. They're all very nice up there. It's always a good getaway, and I love the city. So honestly, like the match itself, I found kind of boring. Luckily, a lot of friends there. Saw a lot of people I hadn't seen for a long time, so that kind of broke that monotony up. But yeah, it was very fun. I love me an away trip. I need to do it more often. It's probably my one for the year, unfortunately, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
I would have loved to see Providence Park in its glory, right? In like 14, 15, maybe 13 when the Timbers Army was at its fullest and it was sold out all the time, and it was basically a hell to play at that stadium, man. I would have loved to experience that because
it was very quiet.
Yeah.
I have experienced that. I've been there multiple times. In fact, I think I was there the year they won MLS Cup. But it was their, I think, 10-year celebration since they last won MLS Cup, maybe 15. When I was up there, so like Nat Borchers was there, all those guys. So that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, I know it was a Wednesday night game, so obviously not going to talk too much crap because we deal with the same thing. But it was a very quiet Providence Park compared to normal.
It looked that way on the broadcast too.
Oh, far from full.
Yeah, it looked that way on the broadcast too.
My buddy bought tickets last minute, literally an hour before the game, and there were something like 8,000 tickets available.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved to see the Timbers Army in their prime, man. 2015 or whenever that was.
They'll be back to their prime.
I'm sure they will.
Just go watch them play against Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
You won't be disappointed.
Looking ahead for Real Salt Lake, first of all, it's All-Star Week. The Skills Challenge, I believe, is happening right now while we have this conversation. Tomorrow, MLS All-Stars and Liga MX All-Stars will be kicking off. And then Saturday, you're right back to Major League Soccer play, which I think is dumb.
Same, but here we are.
Why are we Why are we doing an All-Star game when you have league games on the weekend?
Why are we doing All-Star games at all?
Exactly. We're past this. I get it's another way to market Lionel Messi and whoever else you want to market, but
if he even plays, Evander's killing the shooting challenge right now, by the way.
Yeah, he just destroyed it. Holy crap.
Diego Luna was terrible, but
yeah, Luna was butt.
But Evander just won it for him, so won it for MLS, so that's cool. We were down 106-60, and we just won 132-106. So
I think if MLS MVP voting were happening like right now, today, I think my pick would be Evander.
same. It's going to be Messi just because his name's Messi.
It's going to be Messi, and he's going to win his first.
Annoying.
He's going to win his the first ever player to win back-to-back MVP titles in Major League Soccer, and yada yada yada. But Evander's been my guy.
Did y'all see he's getting suspended 1 game for skipping out of the skills challenge?
Yeah.
Messi?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. They did the same thing with Zlatan too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. Good for Messi.
Messi agrees too. He's like this All-Star stuff stupid.
He's like, what is this, bro?
Like, they were probably going to arrest me that game anyway, so thanks.
I can see him playing like 20 minutes and just like subbing off and going to the airport and flying back to Miami.
I think you can do it with MLS All-Star. It's time. Let's pack it up.
I think so too.
It's America, man. You know, you gotta have that.
I know.
But I mean, even the Pro Bowl's lost its sauce. Like, they play flag football.
The NBA All-Star Game has lost its sauce.
Hey, not the MLB All-Star Game though.
Yeah, because there's actually something riding on it. You know what I mean? But like, let's be real. Outside of the pitchers, is there really that much wear and tear on a baseball player? Like 1 extra game outside of the pitchers.
You know, at least in the MLB, whoever wins the All-Star Game gets like, don't they get like home field advantage like the first couple?
Yeah,
games
exactly. There's an actual reason to care, whereas no one else does.
Why don't we do that in the MLS? Like, go away like Liga MX in. Let's do East versus West again.
Agreed.
And whoever wins that gets. I mean, I guess the championship's only 1 game, but
Or here's a crazy thought. Here's a wild one. Ready? Just get rid of it.
Yeah, just announce this will be the All-Star roster.
Shiz, man, I didn't think of that, Alex. My bad.
Or just do the skills challenge. Make it a little cooler. Just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can move away from All-Star Weekend and make teams earn their home field advantage on the table.
Bro, it's not even All-Star Weekend. It's an All-Star Wednesday.
Oh,
that's how not cool it is.
My bad. All-Star Wednesday.
Just what we want.
Hey, guys, but San Jose this weekend.
There you go.
Missing some key players.
The return of Chicho Arango to America First Field. What do you think the reception is going to be like for Chicho, man?
I want to say he's going to get booed, but I don't know, man.
Dude, the supporters better cook up a nice tifo.
I think yeah, well,
Tifo?
There you go.
Tifo, bro.
My bad. I knew I was going to botch that when I thought
Are you GIF or GIF, Carson?
GIF.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Tifo.
I'd be curious to see the reception that he gets this weekend because I don't know. I think fan base, from what I've seen online, is still divided on his departure.
I still don't think, because it really hasn't been talked about.
Exactly.
Right. The reasonings for the suspension in depth. I don't think people really. Not a lot of people are informed. Right.
We still don't know what happened.
We kind of do.
We do.
But we know it's sleazy.
Yeah, we do, but we don't have the official story.
Right. We just know it's not great. It's not a good look, right?
Yes.
I don't think he's going to get like Rusnak booed. But I mean, dog, he cheered when he scored and when he was offside last time played us. And that really pisses me off. So.
I think it could be worse.
So I think it should be hell. I think he should get it. It should be worse than how we welcomed Rusnak back. It should be louder, more fervent. I don't think it will be, because I think Chicho was in his short time was more loved than Rusnak ever was. But yeah, I'm hoping we just lock him down, man. I mean, if someone wants to take a red, really, really give him a welcome home present, I'm fine with that too.
That should have been Brian, but he's suspended.
Yeah. Where's Eric Holt when you need him?
Hey, you got a coaching gig at a college somewhere.
Neat.
You're right though, Josh. A couple of key additions or key players missing from this one against San Jose, specifically defenders. No Brian Vera, no Alex Catranis in this one because of yellow card accumulation. So I think the natural answer is you're going to have to play Junka at left back.
Yep. Quinton center.
And then
Glad.
Quinton and Glad.
Yep.
Pablo Mastroeni kind of mentioned it a little bit in the postgame presser too. He was asked kind of what the plan was going to be there to fill in for Brian Vera, because typically he wants a left-footed player on the left side of the defense, and so you're not going to have that. You're going to have Quinton or Glad playing right-footed at the left center back spot.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to do it sometimes, right?
Got to do what you got to do.
As long as we don't see Bodie Hidalgo at center back, I'll be okay.
Oof.
Which apparently some people out there think he does good when he plays there. So
that's another guy I think that it might be time to move on from.
Nah, he's not going anywhere. He's a homegrown. I'm being sarcastic. My bad.
No, I feel like he could use a Pinsgau-esque move.
Yeah. Loan him out somewhere, man. Let him get some minutes.
Does he want to, though?
I mean, they don't really have to want to.
Does he care?
See, that's the issue. If there's this attitude of like, I'm already a professional footballer, I'm getting paid to sit on this bench, then move on.
Only time will tell.
You don't need that on your roster. You have. It sucks Javane Brown is out, but I'd rather take Noah Caliscan, who's giving 110% effort, than somebody who's just comfortable sitting on the bench.
Agreed.
Move on, man, if that's the case. If it's not the case, and I mean there's actually a want to improve and a want to get better, then loan him out and let him get some playing time, even if it's USL, man.
Or just a new, fresh perspective on things.
I agree.
New surroundings,
I agree, because I mean it's been a conversation we've had before on the show, man. Like this was supposed to be Bodie's year, and it hasn't been Bodie's year.
No, the chance is quite literally slipping away from him.
Yep.
So, oh well.
San Jose Earthquakes in town Saturday at America First Field. That one's set to kick off at 7:30, and then Real Salt Lake will continue to be home as Club America, San Luis, and Querétaro make their way to America First Field for Leagues Cup. Quick turnaround for Real Salt Lake, and they'll take on one of Mexico's best in Club America on Wednesday night.
It's going to be a rough couple weeks.
It's going to be a busy couple weeks, first of all.
Yep.
Somebody pointed out, Germ801 on our Instagram sent us a question, and I'll pose it to you guys. How serious is RSL taking the Leagues Cup? Will Pablo start his best 11 or give non-starters more minutes?
That's tough. Obviously, they're always going to say in press conferences, right, we're taking every competition serious, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So we're really not going to know until we see the lineups. With RSL right now, I believe they're going to take the league a little more serious because they need to make the playoffs.
Yes.
So I definitely see there's going to have to be a rotation in there, but I see the stronger squads being available for MLS play.
I mean, I would like to see us try, but also at the same time, at least put out your strongest 11 versus Club America. Don't let them come into America First Field and drop 4 on you and completely embarrass you in front of the whole. Well, I'm not even gonna say the whole world, the whole league. But the other 2 games, I would like to see maybe a little bit of rotation and see some younger guys get some playing time with some of the first team guys. Show them like what they're about. I really like to see more of like Hezar Connie, maybe. Definitely, maybe see like Barrera a little bit more as well. Just some guys like that. Maybe even Kobe Henry. Guys, where has Kobe Henry been?
That's a very good question because I was very high on him earlier. Very high on him earlier this year, but since that injury,
he's with the Monarchs. It's chilling.
It's. I mean, if it's that hard to beat out Justin Glad for playing time, then I understand. But I guess I don't know what's going on. And I guess maybe the come up of Caliscan has kind of put some divots to those plans. Maybe he was being looked at as a right back, but I don't know. But yeah, I just really want to see some guys that are kind of newer around, young upcoming guys get some playing time versus the other two teams. But I want to see us go all out versus Club America.
I'm on the same boat as Carson. I've been thinking about the Leagues Cup a lot this week, considering that it's coming up. And you have a Wednesday night game against Club America at home. With the way the new format works and the way it's set up, it's very, very difficult for Real Salt Lake to make it through the next round because only the top 4 Major League Soccer teams even make it through.
Yep. They basically have to win every game in the quote-unquote group stage.
Right, unless everybody else loses a game. Which, when you have a team like a Cincinnati, when you have a team like a Columbus, like a Inter Miami, I see that difficult. I see that as teams that could very well go through and win all 3 of their games.
Mm-hmm.
So, to Carson's point, go all in on Club America, make their life hell.
Then play the kids.
And then after that, I'm absolutely fine with rotating. I know it kind of sucks because I think you should obviously want to go and qualify and compete for as many trophies as you can. But this one, I think I'm okay saying, look, you know what? It's going to be a difficult ask. Let's see some rotation. Let's see some kids. Let's see a Kobe Henry play, who we haven't really seen much this season.
I concur.
What's funny to think about, kind of looking back at it? When we got an idea of what RSL's depth chart was and what players were where, do you guys remember seeing a Caliscan at right back?
No.
Was he there?
No. Griffin Dillon was.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Griffin Dillon was.
I think that's awesome, just like how things can just turn around for a guy just like that.
Like I said, man, he's proved it. He's shown up big.
Yeah.
Josh, Carson, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this one up?
Nah, I think we can wrap it up and be back next week.
I hope by this time next week we have 3 points versus San Jose, but maybe 1 to 2, 3 new faces around.
That would be really nice. This time next week, the window is open. In fact, the transfer window opens Thursday, the 24th. Pioneer.
I would love day of transfer window opening, guys coming in. Would be incredible.
That would be awesome. Real Salt Lake taking on San Jose Saturday, 7:30 at America First Field. Get your tickets, be there, go support the boys, and post-game fireworks in Chicho Arango's return to America First Field. That's going to do it for us here on the RSL Show. Don't forget to go like, don't forget to go subscribe, don't forget to go do what you have to do to follow the RSL Show, and we'll talk to you guys next week after the San Jose game.